So in yesterday's stanza, which you were studying, Harikesha Yopavitne Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. In yesterday, so we were studying about how all the plants, the creepers with flowers, which appear like the holy thread of the Rudra, and the upper garment of Rudra, and all these various flowers in different colors are like the edges of the upper garment what Rudra wears. So these are comparable to that. And all this wealth what we are enjoying, this is all because of the sun's light and the waters and the airs and the food. These are all this phenomenon is because of the activity of Rudra. Because you see, the sun's light the rays of the sun or the light of the sun is radiated from that plane, from the higher plane, and when it enters into Rudra plane, the plane of vibration, then it undergoes transformation. Because what we see as the sun's radiation is not directly perceptible for us, because we are on the lower plane, we are on the Bhuloka, we are on the material plane, and the sun is on Suvarloka, Suvaha, plane of radiation, and in between there is Bhuvaha, plane of vibration. This is the Loka of Rudras, and this is the Loka of Adityas, where sun is radiating, and this is the plane of Vasus, where we are existing. This always we have to remember, Vasus. So the sun is on the highest plane, that is Aditya Loka or Suvar Loka, Suvaha. So the radiation starts from that plane. But this radiation is not directly perceptible for us. We are on this lower plane. It is going through this plane of Rudra plane, that means through the plane of vibration, where there is a transformation of the energy. Because if the sun's light directly touches the earth, then we will not exist. What we see as sunlight is not exactly directly sunlight. It is in the perceptible form after passing through the plane of Rudras. So all this is the work of Rudras through vibration, which makes the light of the sun in several transformations. And due to these transformations only we have all that what is required for our existence. Because we need sunlight and sun's energy, we need oxygen and hydrogen and these gases, then we need water, and then we need food. So all this is the work of the Rudras, the Devas on the plane of vibration, in the intermediary plane, to transform from the highest to bring to the lower plane into the tangible form. There it is intangible, and to bring it to tangible form, we are on the tangible plane because we have the form aspect. Form is tangible form. It is the same. It is the same higher consciousness, but it is intangible in that state. But in our state, it is tangible. Otherwise, we cannot have a form. There will be no form. If it is only sunlight, there is no form, only that light. Sun's light also is not just physical light or optic light. It is higher light. So this higher light is getting transformed and then finally taking the form of optic light, and this optic light is in the level of matter. This is where very difficult for the modern scientists to still understand. How light can be a matter, the scientists cannot understand.
Because they acknowledge the higher aspect.
Yes, of the light. Because for them light is only optic, but optic, your eye can catch only the optic light. So what is perceptible for our senses is that is on the lower plane of matter. Otherwise, how our apparatus, which is on the material plane, can receive this. So therefore the light what we see is the optic light. Optic is the physical aspect of the sunlight. Just like how our body is the physical aspect of our soul, the same manner the light what we see of sun is the physical aspect of the sun's light. So what we see as sun is not really as it is. It is only as it appears to us. As it appears, but not as it is. That is what in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Lord gives the grand vision to Arjuna, he says, do you think that you can see me with your human eyes? Your human eyes are very poor, very limited vision we have. There is much limitation for our human eye. So, if you want to have the grand vision of the Lord of the universe, this eye it is not possible with this eye. That is why he said, I am blessing you with a vision, transcendental vision. A vision transcendental. I bless you. Then only you can see my all the grandeur of this. How can you see with your limited eye? All the unlimited cannot be seen with your limited eye. Even if you have telescope also, it is not possible. With the telescope only you can see the physical form of the planets. But transphysical you cannot see the telescope, because telescope is an instrument of the physical plane. That is so simple. Telescope belongs to physical level, the physical state. So whatever is on the physical state, you cannot, with this physical instrument, you cannot perceive this, but it's transphysical. With the microscope, you cannot see what is mind. Because mind is not physical. Even with very powerful microscope, electronic microscope, no. There is no scope for these microscopes to see the soul.
That's why we need the third light.
So the light of the soul is not physical. So what we see is the optic light. Optic light is in the state of matter. That is why light is also optic. On the optic level, light is also state of matter. This is not understandable for the modern science.
This is the gap.
This is the gap. Because we are in a plane where our consciousness is localized into this plane and the form. Even when you go into the electric plant where electricity is being generated, you cannot see electricity from where it is coming. You will only see the movement of the turbine and the water or gas which makes the turbine to move. But it is not coming from the turbine, it is not coming from the water. The electric energy is not coming from the water, it is not coming from the turbine, but from the movement it is getting manifest from the space. This is the reality.
It's the same with magnetism.
Yes, same with magnetism also.
Same as is gravitation. Same.
Gravitation also. Gravitation is only this relationship, relative relationship. Gravitation is also not properly explained or understood in the normal science. These are all the things which we can realize only when our consciousness rises from this to higher, to the soul. Then only it is possible. As long as you are identified with the form, it is not possible. That is so simple. It is limitation.
So the higher consciousness will open also the higher level.
Yes, higher level of consciousness. So the sun's light. So the sun what we perceive is not the real sun. It is as it appears to us, that's all. This we have to accept this fact. Even we also, you see, when we transact with each other, we transact with the inner person whom we cannot see through the form which we can see. We never try to enter into this. That is why we are not aware of this. When I am talking to you or you are talking to me, am I talking to your face or to your nose or to your ears? I am talking to you, the person. And who is talking to you? It is the person in me and person in you, but not the form. But we use the form, through the form, to express. That is the mystery of this creation.
This is the path of mastery.
Yes. When we can realize this gradually, then we get liberated from the limitations of the form. The boundaries. The bondage from the bondage. Otherwise, we are limited to the form. We use these things, but we don't realize this. So from the materialistic aspect, we should be liberated. That doesn't mean we leave all this. We are living, we use We are living, we are using this as an instrument, but our consciousness should be liberated from this limitation. Then we can know these facts. So therefore, the light of the sun is on the cosmic plane. That is Suvaha Loka, Suvar Loka, at the higher plane. The plane of radiation is cosmic. And from that level, even the sun also receives the light from the higher light. The sun is not radiating his own, it is not his light. This is another fact. The sun of our solar system is like a lens. Through him, this light is radiated. That is a higher truth. It is not from him, it is through him. He receives this light from his higher sons, his gurus. So he receives all this from the higher sons, from the higher plane, and this is radiated through him into the solar system, to the other planets and our earth and to the beings. This is the phenomenon, this is the path. And those sons, they receive from still higher plane. It is like it is a wonderful sequence. And this light which is radiated from the sun, this gets transformed when passing through the loka of the Rudras, and this is transformed into, first it is from the state of Akasha, it is transformed into gaseous state. So in the gaseous state, the light of the sun is transformed into oxygen and hydrogen. So what we know as oxygen, hydrogen, these are the transformed forms of the light of the sun only. So before they got into the gaseous state, before that it is in the form of the light, sunlight. Then it is transformed into gaseous state. And then that is the birth of these gases, oxygen, hydrogen, these gases. And then further transformation, these two interact, and then you have the liquid state, what we call water. So what we see as water is also a transformed state of sunlight only. So what is, yes, because we need oxygen and that is sunlight. We need water, that is sunlight. And then further condensation it goes, and from this you have what you call food. With the interaction with minerals and with the interaction of the sunlight directly from the plant kingdom, we have the food. So our food is sunlight, our water is sunlight, the air we breathe is sunlight. So all our existence is due to the sun. That is why he is called the father of the universe. And this formation of the food and the substance is with the interaction of sunlight through the moon. So again the light is received by the moon, and from there it is again radiated to the earth, and this direct light also is radiated towards earth, and these two make an interaction, sun's light and moon's light. Then you have food and form, all these things.
Yeah, but then we have the 7 cosmic rays.
All the 7 cosmic rays working. All these 7 cosmic rays, the sevenfold activity of the cosmic rays is through the activity of Rudras. That is why the Rudra plane is so important, because without Rudra plane you cannot have a connection between the higher and lower.
So the Rudras and this divine creation, these are the workers.
Yes, the divine workers.
These are the workers.
All this is
We have the engineer offices.
higher officers there.
Yeah, we have also we have designing offices.
Yes,
And to get a product, you need all the workers.
you all the workers, yes.
Then you have to
Yes.
use a
A similar pattern. A similar pattern.
because there are all mental activities.
And yes. And first is the plane where you will have a plan.
Yeah.
And the plan is, then the details of the plan is worked out by the next layer.
Yeah.
And all these things, arrangement, and then worked out on the lower layer, on the vasus, on the material level. These are like masons here. And here, these are like those who work out, and these are those who bring all the material and to put the material according to the plan. And this is, and the higher is the plan itself, the creation. This is on the level of creation where the plan is there, and this is the level of the mind which conceives the plan. That means it is here which are these architects, divine architects. And then we have the masons here. On the physical level, they bring on, arrange all these things. Then we have all the structure.
So plan, architect,
Masons, yes. So all this what we call wealth is due to the activity of these Rudras, who work out from the sun all these on the various levels of consciousness to have the air, the water, and the food, and all these things. So therefore, for all the gardens, for all the fields where you grow the fruits, the grains and all these are all governed by Rudras. And the beings who are sustained by using these foods are also governed by Rudras, because all the activity in us also according to this only, phenomenon only. All the totality of all these activities, what is called yajna, once again. It is the totality of all this activity from the cosmic level to the material level. So the principle which is the background of all activities, yajna. It is to be understood as yajna because it is all due to the plan and due to the what is called the sankalpa, that means all the divine proposal from the Creator. So the Creator, the Lord of the universe, He got this in his mind, this proposal that He should create. In the beginning, there was only the Creator, nothing else. There is no time also, because time comes into existence when there are two entities. When there is no other entity, only one entity, there is no time. Because the measures come out only when there are two entities.
Activity is also time.
Yes, activity is time. So it is symbolically explained, it is symbolically described that the Lord was resting on the ocean, which is infinite ocean, like a child in a banyan leaf. It is symbolically explained. The banyan leaf is floating on the waters of the ocean, infinite ocean, and the child is lying, this Lord of the universe is lying like a child. Banyan leaf. Banyan, ficus, the big ficus leaf. Ficus indica. So it is a very symbolical expression that the Lord of the universe is lying on this leaf which is floating on this ocean, and He was only one. Nobody else. He is only single, and therefore you cannot measure any time how long He is like that, because there is no other observer. All the creation is within Himself. Everything is breathe in and breathe out. These are two phases of the creation. All the kalpas, Brahma kalpa is finished. Brahma, all the Creator, Brahma, Devas, nobody is existing, only He was existing, single. You cannot imagine this. Even if you try to imagine only yourself, suppose if I am existing only alone, alone. So you cannot. Sometimes you feel, I want to spend lonely, but you cannot, because still you have all the people in your mind also.
This is all one.
It is all one. This is only, but for the Lord He was alone. And sometime, there is no time, suddenly in His mind an idea came as like an impulse that let me manifest into this creation. And this impulse is His power. It is like a thought, a proposal. So this impulse to create in the form of a proposal came in His mind. It is beyond cosmic, beyond supracosmic.
Activities are always.
Yes. So it came. That is what it is explained in Vedas. So when he was like that, then he got an idea. Bahusyam prajayeti. How it will be if I multiply myself like this. So it came in his mind. And when this proposal came,